The names are shrinking. The names are shrinking.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like some of these names. Yeah.
Let's talk about the next name on the board. A guy that we know pretty well.
HB.
Harrison Barnes. I don't feel like people appreciate Harrison Barnes enough in Sacramento.
Amen.
I am more than aware of his flaws. He's not perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
But I don't think he gets enough credit for what he brought to the team, especially during the regular season. The playoffs, he wasn't great. And I think a lot of people are going, yeah, but in big moments, he shrinks. Look, if the Kings are trying to count on Harrison Barnes in the playoffs, then something else is going wrong. It's Fox and Sabonis. Is there another guy who could step up? There's 4/5 of the Kings starters who did not play to their potential in the playoffs. I think Harrison Barnes, for the right price and the right role, in my opinion, I think you have to start considering like, all right, maybe he doesn't play as many minutes. But I think you have to give the guy credit for, one, being available all the time. He's played a ton of minutes over the last 4 years.
Yep.
There was a stat I saw that I can't find again, which is great that I'm even trying to cite it, that there have only been like 4 players in the NBA who have played more minutes than Harrison Barnes has in the last 4 years. I think one of them is Jason Tatum. The other is Luka. He's always available. He goes out there. Some nights he can give you 20, but you don't need him to give you 20. You need him to, at times, bail you out, get to the free throw line, which he does at a great rate. Yes. I wish that was more consistent.
I know.
But the three-point shooting has been really consistent in his time in Sacramento, except, of course, in that series against Warriors.
I know you wish the rebounding was more consistent, but his battling in there alone and him boxing out players trying to do the right thing causes attention, or it brings attention. It adds the chaos in there, and in his effort to go after things can help others, right? Finish off the play, finish off getting the rebound. And I think with Harrison too, we talk about his availability and how important that is. And we don't give that enough credit when we look at a lot of these players. That's something why I'm looking at how many games are being played by a lot of these free agents, or who the Kings should target, and trade for. And it's very important. And he's always there for his teammates. He's a really good guy. He's a vet. I know he's getting older, but for the right price.
Yeah, I think the other thing is just his leadership.
Yes. That locker room presence. I mean, you lost Matthew Dellavedova. You got to keep someone like a Harrison Barnes. But not only that, one of the things you mentioned too, right in the beginning, you said, in the right role. And to me, what that could mean is this front office does something to make this roster better. So Harrison Barnes is coming off the bench. Now, I'm not acting like that is something he would even go for. I'm not acting like that is the right thing to do. But I mean, if he was coming off your bench and part of your depth, like, holy shit, you're doing something right.
Yeah. And I don't know what he wants. We've heard the reports that the Pacers are really interested in him. His relationship with Tyrese obviously has been impactful. He also has a close relationship with Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle from his time playing for Carlisle in Dallas. And Indiana does have some money.
Yep.
But, what would his role there be? Like, does he want to be in that situation? Does that fun? He's a Midwest guy. Like, is that kind of a perfect fit for him at this point in his career? Or do you want to, come back to Sacramento and maybe be in a different role? I don't know. Maybe the Kings do view him as a starter moving forward. I think my concern, there are just bad matchups for him. And I think, that's the thing that people want to point out defensively. It's like, oh, man, you can't guard this guy. He can't do that. Yeah, I get all that. And if you can improve that position, bringing him off your bench, God, he'd be so good coming off the bench.
I mean, he would be good for any team coming off the bench, but I think he's still valuable as a starter in this league. I also I just think that when we go through this wheel, there are other players, whether it's even at a younger age or just have different skill sets, that I'm like, yeah, but that would bump this team up a little bit more. But try and keep Harrison Barnes in any way possible.
Oh, thank you so much to Will Z. Killing it with the stats. He has the stat I was looking for. Most total minutes in the last 4 years. Mikal Bridges, Julius Randle, Jason Tatum, Harrison Barnes.
Wow.
So Luka was not on the list. I made that up. So, yeah.
Thank God for Will Z.
But Bridges, Randle, Tatum, Barnes have played the most total minutes in the last 4 years. I don't think any NBA fan, if asked that question, would name Harrison Barnes. If you're like, hey, name the 4 who played the most minutes the last 4 years.
I don't think I would. Tatum would be maybe the one.
Bridges plays like every game too. That's
I wouldn't have remembered that and seen that. It's like, oh yeah, Julius Randle is surprising.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, great to see him on that top 4.
Yeah. Mikal Bridges, man, he's a talented player. Yeah, I'm not opposed at all to Harrison coming back. I do wonder if, one, is he fine with a bench role?
Right.
Does he want to just remain as a starter? And 2, like, what's it going to cost to keep him? That's the other question.
We keep talking about, would he be okay with the bench role? That's assuming that the Kings add something that they feel like is an improvement in that spot or is better.
That's where it's like, is he playing the 3 or 4? What's Sasha doing? What's his role coming off the bench? The backup 4?
Oh, yeah, Sasha.
There's rumors about Trey Lyles is going to re-sign in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
What's his role with the Kings next year? Are Kings doing a little more small ball 5, which I thought he actually looked really good in stretches throughout the year. And they tried it a little bit in the playoffs and it worked too.
Yeah, maybe that's just depending on matchup, but maybe it's also depending on those nights too, where it's like sometimes some guys just don't have it and then they go in that direction. And it's like, I feel like Trey Lyles is that type that can step up pretty consistent every game.